let me tell you what we're going to be doing. It's actually kind of fun. We'll see if you think so. We're going to be trying to solve a problem together. Solving a problem together involves 3 steps. Step number 1 is we have to hear from you what's hard about meeting the expectation that is the problem we're going to be talking about. Okay, and you're not in trouble and nobody's mad. There's just an expectation that you guys are struggling with a little bit, and we want to find out from you what's hard about meeting that expectation. Okay? We need to hear as much as you can tell us. So this is step number 1 is your voice. Okay? Step number 2, Laurel's going to tell us why she thinks it's important for that expectation to get met. Okay? Why is it important that we have that expectation? And then, what a lot of kids think is the most fun part, step number 3 is where we try to come up with solutions that will address the concerns that we came up with, yours and Laurel's. Does this make sense? That's what we're going to be doing. Now there's a few ground rules. The biggest one is people gotta feel safe talking and saying what they think. And for people to feel safe talking about what they think, the rest of us have to obviously listen well, not interrupt, but the biggest part is being respectful of what they're saying. The unsolved problem is...
Dun, dun, dun. We are having difficulty listening to the daily agenda after announcements.
So some people just keep reading through the announcements. So it's like we start off the day with reading, and then the announcements come on, and we're still reading, not really listening to it. And then when it's the morning agenda, people just don't listen to that because they're still reading.
Got it.
So the announcements don't really stop people from reading.
So here's what I'm hearing so far. At least 2 of you really like to read. Yes? And sometimes reading is what you're doing instead of not only listening to the morning agenda, but also listening to the morning announcements. Yes? All right.
After the morning announcements, there's sometimes Laurel will be organizing something, or there's going to be a little break, and a lot of people start conversations. So then when Laurel tries to explain the agenda, a lot of people are still in their conversations
on the board, and she explains that during the agenda.
Got it.
So sometimes, she'll explain stuff like that, and it's good that she does the agenda, she talks about it. And I feel like hearing it is kind of different than seeing it on the board.
Okay. So there's value added in hearing it and not just...
It is paying attention. It's harder to listen when you're reading. That's
Yes.
one. But to be honest, I was framing it also as listening, because when you're talking, you're not normally listening.
So there could be chatter
So
going
there's
on in
both,
class,
I'd say
too.
there's both happening.
Got it.
Yeah, okay, so, I feel like when she's up there, or even have you know that thing that you ding?
A gong?
A gong, whatever
Gong.
it's called. And then everybody knows, okay, we need to put our, we need to sit down
and the idea of Cadilla. So I think that Laurel shouldn't have to tell us, put your book away, because I think we're capable to do that. And also, with Claire, I think the gongs would actually work. Because the clapping, nobody pays attention to that.
Is that true?
Yes,
Good to know.
my class before, the teacher used to try to do that, but everybody just ignored it.
Really?
So if Laurel actually used the gong.
Molly, and then right after Molly, this person here, go ahead.
Like you said, I think we need something an extra base to help us with the expectations, and I think a gong is a great idea.
Cool. Go ahead, your name? Is everybody good with some sort of sound signal from Laurel letting you know that it's time for morning agenda? Does anybody mind that? Good. Mind a triangle. Raise your hand if you mind a squeaky frog. Raise your hand if you mind a
I know what
scraping frog.
No squeak.
Raise your hand if you mind or are not so enthusiastic about the squeaky chicken. It looks to me like what your class has agreed on is that number one, you need some formal way of knowing that the morning agenda is about to begin. Now you know Laurel's expectation. She expects you to listen to the morning announcements. She expects you to stay at your seat during the 30 to 60 seconds between morning announcements and morning agenda. She expects you to listen to the morning agenda even if you've already read it. But it sounds like you guys would like an official signal, and it sounds like the gong is what your classroom has agreed on for how Laurel will signal you that it's time for morning agenda. Good?